Welcome to the card review, guys. Today we're gonna look at all of the Mage cards that just came out, so you guys know what to expect from the class. Hope you find it helpful, and if you do, a like and subscribe would be great, and definitely check out the rest of my card reviews if you want to be up to date with Across the Timeways. Now, let's get into it.
You are not prepared!
Okay, the Hearthstone website has everything up this time. Let's start with the Fabled card, since that is questionably the most important one, but yeah, this one definitely looks very strong. We have ourselves a 5-mana 2/8 dragon, Azure Queen Sindragosa. Fabled, if you control another dragon, your arcane spells cost 2 less. Sounds like a pretty strong effect. This isn't having the safety words no less than 1, so you could be blasting with a lot of 0-mana spells like this. And you're also gonna be actually capable of getting yourself spells from the past, so you could be doing some pretty crazy things with this one. The other part of the Fable cards would be the 5-mana Azure King Malygos, and he's also a 2/8 dragon. If you control another dragon, your arcane spells cast twice, guys. These guys comboed off together can definitely pack quite the mean punch, and it's actually not gonna be that hard for you to have them together, because we also have the other Fabled card, Azure Oathstone. This is a 8-mana legendary spell that summons your dragons that died this game. Absolutely broken. This way you're gonna be able to get yourself Sindragosa, King Malygos, and if you guys watch the Raunchy animation, they do remind us that you're also going to be capable of using yourself Kalygos as well, so that would be absolutely massive. But to be fair, having Kalygos like that is not going to be all that massive, because the first spell you cast would be this Azure Oathstone, so it's not going to be that cheap like that, but whatever. Anyway, these two dragons together definitely open up a lot of extra potential for Mage, and Arcane Dragon Mage should be definitely quite the big archetype once the expansion launches, at least I think so. We already saw the 2-mana semi-stable portal. It's an arcane spell with rewind, add a random minion to your hand, and it costs 3 less. It's not a very amazing spell, I can tell you that much, it's kinda pretty whatever. It is arcane, so you could be casting it twice and cheap, but still feels a little bit on the whatever side. The 1-mana Mirror Dimensions, however, is definitely pretty cool, because this thing summons you a 0/4 minion with Taunt, and if you're holding a dragon, it summons another one, so if you're playing a Dragon Arcane Mage, you should be holding on to dragons quite a lot, so having a 1-mana 0/8 Taunt on the board definitely sparks a lot of joy for the Mage class. And I do believe this card should allow Mage to be stalling a lot longer and feel a lot better. We already have a pretty strong dragon package with things like Narrowlex, Acera, and Ferak in the game already, so this thing is just gonna be even more support for one of the most broken packages in the game right now. The 4-mana Alter Time is an arcane spell which discovers 2 more arcane spells from the past, and they cost 2 less. So if you have both the dragons on the board, this thing costs you 2 mana, and it gives you 4 extra arcane spells from the past that cost 2 less, so that would be pretty strong indeed. Definitely would be a lot better to be playing this after you have both the dragons on the board, and it could allow you to actually do some pretty sick OTKs, I do believe. Next up is the 5-mana 4/7 dragon, Algeth'ar Instructor, has +2 spell damage, decently statted, but not sure if it's all that great. I mean, definitely a lot better than what we had back in the day with 5-mana Azure Drake, being a 5-mana 4/4 draw card and +1 spell damage. This gives you +2, but still, cards like this have never really been that amazing. If it was a little bit cheaper perhaps, but like this, I don't know. Still probably could make the cut into a potential Dragon Arcane Mage, but it doesn't have enough to stand on its own 2 feet, I'd say. Next up is the 3-mana Arcane Barrage. It is an arcane spell, it's in the name, duh. Deal 3 damage to an enemy and 2 damage to 2 other random ones. I'm pretty sure this thing can only go face a single time. Usually they do say 2 different ones to drive that point really home, but I'm pretty sure this thing is not gonna be going face for 7 damage on an empty board, right guys? That would be a little bit too broken, especially when casting twice, especially with some spell damage. That'd be insane. Like, imagine this with the last dragon, that'd be a 5 damage plus 4 damage twice. That's literally 13 damage for 3 mana, which is kind of huge. So yeah, this should be going in all sorts of different directions. The cool part is the first half you do actually choose where that damage goes, but the second 2 can go on random enemies, so it could also control the board a little bit better for you. Definitely sounds like a strong arcane spell to have in your Arcane Mage arsenal, so we should be seeing a lot of this if the Arcane Dragon Mage does actually prevail. The other legendary mages getting this expansion would be actually the expansion's mascot, let's say, we have the 4-mana 4/4 Timelooper Toki. Timelooper Toki is a battlecry, get 4 random spells from the past, and when you play all 4, get another Timelooper Toki. Definitely a lot of flavor in this card, I can tell it that much, but will this be actually good? It does give you a lot of random spells, but random spells also take up a lot of random spots, and you could be getting yourself some 9, 7, 10, all sorts of different spells from the past, so very, very memey if you ask me. I wouldn't expect to be seeing this card too much into actual meta decks, but some people might actually enjoy memeing around with it. Personally, not a huge fan of cards like this. It is fun, but leave fun for Tavern Brawl, I'd say. Next up is the 7-mana arcane spell Anomalize, and this thing is gonna be summoning you a random 10 cost and a random 1 cost minion, but it's gonna scramble their stats. By scramble, I'm assuming it's not gonna directly swap them, but actually give them some to the 1 drop, some to the 10 drop, that kind of stuff, so you could end up with something like a couple of 5/5s on the board. If you have the dragons on the board, this thing costing you 5 mana and doing it twice is kinda cool, but without the dragons, feels a little bit too expensive for what it does, so I'm not really sold on how good this arcane spell is gonna be, but I guess time will tell if it actually makes the cut or not. For me so far, it's a nut. The 2-mana 2/2 Faceless Enigma is a battlecry. Look at 2 random secrets, pick 1 to cast for yourself and the other casts for your opponent. Kind of an interesting card. You could be picking all sorts of different secrets here. Right now, Standard only has Hunter and Mage secrets if we gotta be honest, but in Wild this could definitely be quite wild indeed, because there's also Pally secrets, and there's also plenty more variation of the other 2 classes with secrets as well, so it could be kinda interesting over there, but I wouldn't expect it to be too meta. In Wild for sure. In Standard it could be helpful, but the thing is you're only looking at 2 random secrets. It's not like a discover twice, 1 for you, 1 for the enemy. You just look at 2 secrets and you pick 1 for you, 1 for the enemy, and that sounds a little bit too tricky. You are gonna know what the opponent's secret is, they're not gonna know what yours is. It's kinda interesting, but I wouldn't call it too exciting for an actual Standard deck. And the last card we're gonna look at is gonna be the 7-mana 5/5 Elemental, Temporal Construct. This thing is a battlecry, deal 5 damage to an enemy minion, draw cards equal to the excess damage. A little bit too expensive for this effect, I'd say. It could be a 7-mana 5/5 draw 4 cards, but even then, a wee bit too expensive for the stats you're getting. I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of this. If it was cheaper, sure, could have been a nice little inclusion in a potential Elemental deck, but like this, it's just way too expensive for what it does. The damage only goes to a minion. The card draw is only limited to 4. I don't know, I'd say this one is kinda on the floppy side. So that's gonna be it for all the Mage cards, guys. Do let me know in the comments if you guys are excited about this Arcane Dragon package Mage is receiving, and definitely check out my other reviews if you want to be up to date with the new expansion. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, a like and a subscribe would be awesome, and thanks for watching. I'm Kris05, and I'll see you in my next video or stream.